20 minutes sailing from the ship to shore. And finally, we arrived in here. We just came from the Pacific Ocean and crossed Balboa. Right now, it is a time and we're on the first part of this adventure at Miraflores Lock, the first lock in the Panama Canal. So we still have another 20 minutes driving to the first lock. Let's find a ride. The Panama Canal is 48 miles long and connects the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean via the Caribbean Sea. The idea of the canal goes back on 1534, when Charles V, or Roman Emperor and the King of Spain, was interested in a route that would connect Spain and Peru throughout history. Many said financial opportunities of building a canal, but it was finally the French who started the constructions in 1881. Due to the poor understanding of the region, the project left them bankrupt, and estimated 22,000 lives were lost to accidents and disease. Bienvenidos al Canal de Panama. Welcome to the first set of 3 locks we're going to visit today. This is the Miraflores Lock. It has 2-lane traffic system and 2 lock sides. The actual dimension of the locks is 110 feet wide and 1,000 feet long. It's amazing to see they're going to fill this chamber with 27,700,000 gallons or 100,000 cubic meters of water, lifting the vessels to the height of 54 feet or 16.5 meters in 2 stages. Then the gate will be opened and the Norwegian jewel will proceed to the next chamber. It's like water elevators. Panama Canal is the world's coolest shortcut. I couldn't believe it until seeing it in my own eyes. This canal is truly an unbelievable accomplishment and so very important to maritime industry. Ships traveling between New York and San Francisco saved 7,872 miles by using Panama Canal instead of going around Cape Horn. How cool is that, right? Panama Centennial Bridge, or Puente Centenario, is a major bridge crossing the Panama Canal. It was built to replace the overcrowded Bridge of the Americas and to replace it as a carrier of the Pan American Highway. It earned the American Segmental Bridge Institute Prize of Excellence along with 7 other bridges of Americas. The Panama Canal Expansion Project, also known as Third Sets of Locks Project, will allow ships double size to pass, dramatically increasing the amount of goods that they can pass through the canal. The project is planned to build 2 new locks, one on each of Atlantic and Pacific sides. They will have 3 chambers with water savings basins. The project will also excavate new channels to the new locks, widen and deepen existing channels, and raise the maximum operating level of the Gatun Lakes. you can see, Norwegian Jewel is now approaching. We are now here in Gamboa Lake, which is the exit to Gatun Lake. This man-made lake is 23 meters above Pacific sea levels. The Norwegian Jewel is now approaching to the final set of locks, which is Gatun Lock. In 1904, 1 year after Theodore Roosevelt supported Panamanian rebels to separate from Colombia, the U.S. took over the construction by buying the French their equipment and the excavation for $40 million. They took this project with the help of 3 men. It was John Frank Stevens, a self-educated engineer who brought new lives to the canal project by making a comfortable place for the workers by creating the housings, cafeterias, water systems, repair shops, warehouses, and other infrastructure needed. Colonel William C. Gorgas was the appointed chief sanitation officer and implemented a length of measures like fumigations and elimination of stagnant water to minimize the spread of the deadly diseases like malaria and yellow fever, learned to be carried by mosquitoes. U.S. Army Major George Washington Goodell, a trained leader and civil engineer, will direct the work in Panama to a successful conclusion. Extensive studies proved it was better to use a lock system to raise and lower ships from 85 feet above sea level. This will create both the world's largest dam, Gatun Dam, and the largest man-made lake, Gatun Lake. The building of the canal was completed by 1914, and it was formally inaugurated on August 15 in same year, with the passage of the cargo ship SS Ancon sailing from Atlantic to the Pacific. This made the canal slogan a reality: the land divided, the world united, 2 great oceans were united. The Norwegian Jewel has just entered the Gatun Lake, artificially credited in 1913 by the damming of the Chagres River. This lake is an essential part of the Panama Canal, which forms a water passage between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, permitting ship transit in both directions, and more than 10,000 ocean-going vessels travel through it yearly. Bienvenidos al Canal de Panama. Finally, we reached the final locks. So which is the Gatun locks? It has 2-lane traffic system and 2 lock sides. We are now on board in the original model of the electric locomotive that maneuvers the ship through the locks, also known as las mulas or mule. And this machine is what helps guide us through each lock of the Panama Canal. This was made by General Electric in 1914, and it was valued at $20,000 by the time. However, on this side is a second generation. Probably this time this was cost like $1 million. And the one that we're using today is the third generation. It's the newest one, the 2.0 version of Las Mulas. It's made by Mitsubishi Motor and it costs $3 million each. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the final gate of the Gatun Lock, and the Norwegian Jewel is one step away from sailing into the Atlantic and the Caribbean Ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, the Norwegian Jewel is now leaving the final lock to start her journey into the Atlantic and the Caribbean Ocean. Did you know that we paid $387,000 US for this transit? That's a lot of money. It has been an amazing experience. So if you are watching this at home, remember all the fun that you have on board Norwegian Jewel. Hope to see you again in the very near future. On behalf of our Captain Nicholas and Hotel Director Klaus, your Cruise Director Archie, your photo team, broadcast team, and the entire officer of Norwegian Jewel, thank you for cruising Norwegian. Once again, I'm your host, EddieSpaghetti, your Assistant Cruise Director. Hasta la pasa, baby. We made it, everybody. We made it. Everybody wave.